Hello and welcome there. You're listening to Family Planet365. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, and welcome to another episode of Family Planet365. Today, we are kicking off the Santa Clarita Preschool Fair by having two of my favorite vendors here from Tutor Time and Rise and Shine Preschool here in Santa Clarita. Yay! Our topic today is how to find the preschool that's right for your little one in dealing with separation anxiety. Today's show is brought to you by The Nanny Factory. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Do you have plans? Contact The Nanny Factory to learn more about the Nanny Registry. It's perfect for parents who want a night out on the town or just need some time away without all the hassle of trying to figure out who's going to take care of the kids. To learn more, visit our website at thenannyfactory.com. All right, don't forget, this Saturday, January 23rd, is the third annual Santa Clarita Preschool Fair. I am so excited about this. The Santa Clarita Preschool Fair is a community-wide open house that is free for the community and is a great way to learn about the top preschools and family-friendly businesses in the area. The Santa Clarita Preschool Fair is on Saturday. Write this down. January 23rd, that's Saturday, January 23rd, from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Valencia United Methodist Church, right off McBean. You can go to the scvpreschoolfair.com to learn more, and you can find it on Facebook as well under the Santa Clarita Preschool Fair Journal. I hope to see you there. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Family Planet 365 on AM 1220 KHTS. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, and today we're going to find out what you can or should do or should be considering, I would say, when you're looking for preschool education for your child. We're doing things a little different because I actually have two guests in studio today, and we're going to have like a panel discussion. So it's not like an interview. It's more of us discussing the whole preschool lifestyle and families who are entering into this new realm of questions and uncertainty, but after today's show, you won't have to be uncertain. So let me introduce our guest today. First, we have Cheryl. Cheryl is from Rise and Shine Preschool here in Santa Clarita. And Cheryl Fisk is actually one of the assistant directors at Rise and Shine Preschool. She's been there for 15 years. 3 of her daughters attended the preschool, and she has 5 grandchildren. She is here today to talk to us about separation anxiety because, from what I understand, Cheryl has been at Rise and Shine Preschool, and she's actually witnessed separation anxiety firsthand. So I'm sure she'll have a lot to tell us about that. Welcome, Cheryl.
Good morning, Malena. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
To be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And then our next representative is Angie Serrano. Is that correct? Angie Serrano. All right. So Angie Serrano is from Tutor Time Learning Center here in Santa Clarita. And Angie has worked in the early childhood development industry for 25 years. And she currently serves as the director for Tutor Time. So for the past 3 years, Angie has actually led other educators in the Southern California Conference she talks about the importance of hands-on math, mastering circle time, and how to make a rough transition smooth. Cultural diversity is Angie's top priority in her educational career, and she's actually made it a part of her curriculum and has taught Spanish from ages preschool through middle school. Angie is so committed to the cultural diversity and being involved in the community that she's actually involved in Relay for Life, the Kid Expo, and none other than the SCV Preschool Fair. Welcome, Angie.
Welcome. Thank you. Happy Friday.
Oh, thank you. Happy Friday to you. It feels so great. I tell you, with the preschool fair coming up, it's like it's all a blur. You know, you look up and it's a year. We plan it every year. And I tell you, it's not 12 months. It feels like it's every 3 months. So happy Friday.
It's so much fun.
Yes. Thank you.
We had
Good.
a great time last year.
Great.
It's probably one of the best fairs that we've actually attended.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
We really enjoyed it last year.
I'm so grateful for your support. And I love Rise and Shine and Tutor Time. I've been there from day one.
Yes,
They're my day one crew. So let's get started. All right. So we're going to talk about what are some of the things to consider. That's one of the reasons why we do the preschool fair. Because with the nanny factory, you start out, the children are babies and they're cute and they're cuddly. And of course you want a nanny in the home if you can afford that and that's your lifestyle. But then as the children start getting older, the parents get concerned like, hey, should I send Samantha to preschool or should we just have the nanny take her on play dates? And I'm always like, send her to preschool. I think being around other children and actually building the immune system to get the colds and everything, I think it's good for children. I mean, to an extent, you don't want a child that's like sick all the time because they're going to a preschool that carries the germs. But for the most part, I like the fact that children can look forward to being with their friends and learning how to be in a group environment. And then maybe they go for a half day and then they'll have a nanny, after the 12 o'clock dismissal or whatever. So I think it's important that parents understand what their options are because there are so many options, with the whole Montessori versus the hands-on, like you talk about at tutor time versus the home daycare or preschool. So I'll start with you, Cheryl. When you do like the tours for Rise and Shine and you might see a mom who's nervous or a family member or families who are nervous, how do you help ease that and help them to understand that this might be the right place for them as far as Rise and Shine is concerned?
Well, our school is a hands-on school, and we, when I give a tour, I always, welcome the parents and show them the entire school and reassure them that their child will be safe at that school and that we want to open the socialization skills for them, the self-help skills, and reassure this is a family-orientated school. We feel like family here, and to explore other options as well, though. Okay. Some schools are not the right school for every child. So look at our school and don't be afraid to look at other schools as well.
And I like that you say that because that was one of the concerns when I first started the preschool fair. The other preschools are like, well, why would I exhibit with other preschools? Like that's competition. I said, no, I don't look at it that way because you offer what you offer. No one preschool is alike. And the same thing with the nanny factory. Like I actually reach out to other nanny agencies. I'm like, hey, exhibit with us. And they're like, well, you're going to be there. Why would I do that? And I'm like, no, it's not like that because, whatever the nanny factory offers, the nanny factory offers. Whatever cultural care au pair offers is what cultural care au pair offers. So I like that you're encouraging parents to actually do their research, look at other preschools. Like I'm the type of person, if I see something and I fall in love with it, I'm like, okay, this is it. But I've learned that you should explore other options.
Exactly. And we are a faith-based school, so sometimes that appeals to parents, sometimes it does not. We do chapel, we do prayers, and a lot of parents are looking for that. Some parents, it's a turnoff. That's not what they want at all. They want a more technical. They want more computers in the classroom.
Preschool, wow.
They do, and we are, like I said, we're hands on. We believe that children learn through play, and so we encourage that. And some parents, that's not, they don't want them to come to school and play. They want them to come to school and learn, even starting at the age of 2, and they don't realize that they are learning through play. They're learning through socializing with their friends. They're learning by running around outside on the playground and playing with Play-Doh and doing puzzles and sitting in circle and listening to stories. It's all a part of the process. And that's not what all parents are looking for. Yeah. We live in a world now where technology is, 2-year-olds know how to use cell phones. And what are they really learning from using that cell phone?
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point. So you got to think about if you're more of wanting technical education or hands-on education, or whether it's faith-based.
Yes.
It's something to consider. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Family Planet 365 on AM 1220 KHTS. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, and today I am talking to Cheryl Fisk from Rise and Shine Preschool and Angie Serrano from Tutor Time Learning Center here in Santa Clarita, and we're exploring what you should be looking at when you're trying to figure out what preschool to send your child to. Okay, Angie. So tell me, what are some of the things that you encourage parents to do when they come in for that tour, or they're just looking around, want to see if maybe tutor time is the right place for their child?
Well, first of all, I think it's important that when you do tour a school, that you bring the child along with you.
Oh, good point.
I think it's important for a child to come to the tour, and I think the reason is because they're going to tell you what they like. Mm-hmm. They're going to tell you what they need.
Do they know?
Oh, absolutely. They say, I want to come to school, and this is the school. And I always encourage families, just like Cheryl said, I encourage them to do their homework, go to other schools, see what's the right fit for their child. One of the things that we also do at our school is, I can give a family a tour, and I can sell the school. I can do all the bells and whistles and do a wonderful job. But at the end of the day, the child's not going to be with me. The child's going to be with the teacher. So what we do is during the tour, I will go into a classroom and I will switch places with the teacher. And I'll take on the classroom and the teacher will take on the tour and show them, talk about the classroom, the schedule, the education, the experience that they have. And we also invite the families to come in and do a free trial with the school to see if we're the fit. We want to make sure that they've made the right decision. And we want to know that, we're a very small community, Santa Clarita. We all have, I know all the, directors around my area, and we, like you said, we're not competition. We're in it together. So we want to make sure that we are all together and we're a family. So it's really important.
I love that community aspect. Then Angie, what would you say as far as like the preschool fair? If a family's coming there, do they really get a sense? Is that a true sense of, I like that school? Can they really, get an introduction to the preschools here in the area? What should they look for when they go to an event like that?
I think I will talk from experience with the preschool fair last year when we had so many families that came to our booth. We invited them to our school. I think we had such a huge turnout from the preschool fair because we talked to them. We played with Play-Doh. We did, games with the children. But we also, once again, we invited them to come in and we gave them the tour. But the initial invitation did come from the preschool fair. So we have to thank you for that because I want to say we had about 15 families come to our school, either my school, the Stevenson Ranch location, and the Canyon Country location. So it was a huge success for us. And, the great thing is because there's other preschools, we were able to introduce each other for those that we don't know each other. So I actually met,
friends.
Yeah, absolutely. We, exchanged cards. We kept in touch.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. And I like what you say as far as inviting them to come to come for a visit, or do a tour, and bring the child or
Absolutely.
The children. Yeah, that's really important because I think a lot of times when you do these events, you're like, okay, I'm going to get, this many families. But one of the things I always talk about is, the key is in the follow-up. So what are you going to offer at your table to maybe introduce the family and to attract the family to want to schedule that tour with you? So I love that point. Thank you, Angie, for that. Cheryl, what has been your experience with a family that maybe comes into the school, if you've had this experience at all, and for whatever reason, they find that they're not happy with the school, or maybe the child is having a hard time transitioning. Have you ever had that experience?
We have. Usually if the parents are unhappy, we try to counsel with them and find out, what the issue is, why they're not happy with us, or if the child's not happy. Sometimes the child, this is their first experience at preschool, and when it is their first experience, some children just run in, say goodbye. Others have a difficult time. And so we'd like to sit down with the parents and the child and talk with them and find out why they're not happy. It could be something very simple to fix. But if they don't tell us, then we don't know.
Communication
is, is very important.
Okay. I like that. Well, you know what? One of the things I want to go back a little bit and tell me, how did you get started in the early childhood education field, Cheryl?
Well, I got started because when I had my first child, I was working and I put her in a home daycare.
Okay, a home.
And she cried every day. Oh. And so I was upset and decided after about 2 years that I just couldn't do this anymore. And I wanted to change careers.
Okay.
And so I explored child development, and I started getting my units in child care development and went around and started checking out preschools and decided that I wanted to work in a preschool. I wanted to be around my children.
Wow, so you
that's
actually
how
had
I
them,
got started.
So
yes.
You decided, I need to find a place where I can bring my children to work with me.
Exactly. We didn't have that when I worked in the administration. Yeah. We didn't have that that preschool setting because this was many years ago. And so I decided I wanted to be able to take my children to school with me. I wanted to take them to work with me, and the preschool setting was the perfect place. So I was able to do that with all 3 of my children.
How nice! What a luxury! So you just make the decision, make the change, and done. No more upset mornings and leaving the babies. Exactly. Oh, that could be so.
And
hard.
now I've had the experience to have 3 of my grandchildren in the preschool where I work.
Oh,
so
I see.
It's been very enjoyable. They're not in my class, but I do get to see them
and keep an eye out on them.
Yeah, so it's been a wonderful experience.
I love that. What about you, Angie? How did you get started in early childhood development?
I actually think it's the same way.
Oh, the kids.
The kids. I was a very young mommy. I was 21 when I had my first daughter. Mm-hmm. And so I just felt that I wanted to know more about her world, and I wanted to be able to help her understand just everything, her surroundings. So the more that I knew about her world, the better off both of us were going to be. So I started taking child development classes at 21, and was intrigued by the child care setting. And started going into work. I worked first for a Montessori school.
Okay.
And went from Montessori to a regular preschool setting, and that's where I stayed. And again, I was able to bring my daughters to school with me, and so I also experienced firsthand anxiety and how to drop them off. And although you're 2 feet away, it's the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter. Those are my babies across the yard. And I was like, I have to drop them off. So definitely it was something that I enjoyed it. I loved every part of having to see my children develop and learn those great big milestones like walking and talking and sharing and taking turns and using the right words for them to learn about their world.
Wow, that's great. So motherhood is what inspired you all to get into this field. That's interesting because that's one of the reasons I do what I do is because of my children. I'm like, I need help. I'm not going to do this by myself. So, hence the nanny factory. And even doing this show, I want to talk to other moms. I want to talk to other families, and I want to talk to professionals about how to have a great family. So I think it's amazing how when you open yourself up to the possibility that it will show you the way, because you guys are amazing from what I see. You're amazing at what you do, and it's great. I'm grateful to have you in this industry. But let me ask you, what do you enjoy most about all these years? You've been here for a long time. Cheryl, what keeps you going every day? Because it's, it could be
the kids.
The kids.
I love the kids. Their love is so unconditional. They don't care if you can carry a tune. They will sing whatever you want to sing.
That is so true, yeah.
They love when you read them a story. It's just the smile on their face, the hugs that you get. It's what keeps me going. And to watch them, see them learn. Every day they learn something new, and you learn something new from them. Wow. It's a wonderful experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Even after all these years,
and I've actually been at Rise and Shine for over 22 years.
Oh,
so I was the assistant director for 15 years. I had that job for 15 years, but I've been there for 22 years, and I can tell you, it's the kids that keep me coming back.
I love that.
I love the kids. They're wonderful to work with. They're amazing.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's good. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Family Planet 365 on AM 1220 KHTS. I'm your host, Malena Jackson, and today we are talking about how to find the right preschool for your child. And we're going to eventually talk about dealing with separation anxiety, because what you find is a lot of times it's not the kids or the children who are sad. It's the parents. They're the moms who won't let go. You know, you have a mom who's thinking about, oh, I don't know if I'm going to let her go to preschool just yet. It's not the child, it's the parent. So we have experts in the house today. We have Angie Serrano from Tutor Time Learning Center here in Santa Clarita. And we have Cheryl Fisk from Rise and Shine Preschool. When we come back, we're going to talk to them about what makes their school different. We're going to talk about Montessori, hands-on. You got it. We're here. We'll be back in a few more when we come back.